Get off my plane.
And into my collection. Welcome to Movies with James. I am your host, James, and on today's episode, we are going to be going over the Sony 4K Steelbook of Air Force One. Are you guys ready? Today's episode is all about Air Force One. So when this movie came out, it was released in theaters July 25th, 1997. It had a budget of around $88 million. Worldwide box office was about $315 million. This newest release does come with Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos. The old 4K release did have Dolby Atmos, but did not have the Dolby Vision. Just as a quick fun fact for everybody, the director tried to get permission to see the real Air Force One, was denied. However, a quick phone call from Harrison Ford changed that and got the team permission to see the real Air Force One. So we are talking about Air Force One. So let's start with the director. Name, Wolfgang Petersen. He has also directed a lot of other films you might have seen and not realize they were all connected with the same director. For example, made the classic Das Boot. He also made the classic Troy, The Never-Ending Story, 90s classic The Outbreak, and many other films. One thing about doing these YouTube films is I like to do some research so I can tell you guys some cool information like that. I did not know any of that information before doing this research, so that is one thing that I get out of doing this video, making these videos, is I get to learn a lot more about these films, and I hope I can pass some of that knowledge to you guys as well. Air Force One, it's got some great A-list actors. So let's just start with the president, the main actor of the film, Harrison Ford. He is amazing in his role. Can't say enough. He really is the reason to watch this movie. He is in countless other films. If you don't know who Harrison Ford is and you're on my channel, I don't know how you got here, but in case you didn't, just think Harrison Ford is Han Solo, and he's also Indiana Jones. Moving on next to the bad guy in the film, it is Gary Oldman. Gary Oldman is also another classic actor. He plays a great villain in this role in the terrorist form. He takes hostage over the plane. Not to give too much away, but he has some of my favorite scenes in this movie. If you watch my opening, that is Gary Oldman and Harrison Ford fighting against each other. One of the people in the Air Force One plane is William H. Macy. You may know him best as the dad from Shameless. I believe his name is Frank on that show, but he plays a great role in this. There's a couple other actors and actresses, but those are the main three that really stand out for me, at least in this movie. And they all thought they did an amazing job. Harrison Ford definitely steals the show, but Gary Oldman plays an excellent villain. Visually, this movie is great. There is Dolby Vision added to this disc for the first time. That is my preferred method of HDR if I have the chance. I have a Sony OLED TV that I do all my movie watching reviews on. I thought the black levels were top notch, a lot better than some of the other films I have watched recently that I'll do more reviews on here in the future. The 4K transfer we have seen before, there's not much different compared to the previous transfer, other than I thought the HDR did do a little bit better job with the Dolby Vision added. It is very crisp, makes the image pop, but you can also tell that it was still filmed in the 90s. Does not look digitally overdone The audio is what impressed me the most. The audio track did not change from the previous 4K release. That was not a Steelbook. So this is the 4K Steelbook released here by Sony. This is the 4K regular release. This one does not have Dolby Vision. This one does. The audio is amazing though. I cannot say enough. I watched it with my Sony TV that was hooked up to a Sonos Arc with two Sonos ones as my left and right rear speakers. The tracks were great. There was plenty of action in the back speakers, as much as plenty of action coming out of the front speaker. I do not have a sub hooked up. Overall, I thought visually it was amazing. Audio, I thought it was amazing. Overall, I thought this movie was amazing. If I was to rate it, I would give it 4.5 out of 5 stars. Not a perfect film. There is some, those cheesy moments like how could this actually happen on Air Force One, but it is a great 90s action film. The score, the music is amazing. The cinematography really makes you feel like you're on the plane the whole time with that claustrophobic kind of feel. Harrison Ford as a president rescuing hostages on his own plane on Air Force One. What can you say? Watch this movie if you have not. If you have seen this movie and you're questioning yourself if you want to pick up that 4K transfer or not, I have 2 copies in my collection. I think that speaks enough for itself. I would say pick it up, especially if you can find it on a sale. The Steelbook is gorgeous. I don't think if you're not a Steelbook collector, get the regular one. This one is always on sale. It's not a very high priced 4K. It's on the cheaper side, so pick this up. I give this movie 4.5 stars. It's a must see. Go see it. I will be definitely keeping the Steelbook version of this film. I am probably going to be giving the 4K to my father-in-law or another family member, but probably my father-in-law. I'm trying to build up his 4K movie collection slowly. But this Steelbook, what can we say? Artwork on the front is absolutely gorgeous. Flip it around, there is great back artwork as well, but the reason you get this Steelbook is definitely that front cover artwork. If you flip it open, sadly there is no artwork on the inside. You get 2 different artwork on the 4K discs and the Blu-ray discs, but if you're going to buy the Steelbook, you buy it because of this front cover. Let's be real. This is the end of the video, so coming up next, as we do in every video of here at Movies with James, it's going to be this video's shout out coming up next. This video's shout out goes to Tony. Tony is at Basement Blues. That's where you will find him. He is on Instagram, YouTube. I believe he is on TikTok as well, but definitely follow him on YouTube. He does daily unwrappings of his collection. Once you see his collection, you will know what I mean. It is a collection that we can all be envious of. But Tony is the nicest person out here on YouTube. You'll find him on many different live streams from different creators giving his input. He has great personality. I can't say enough about Tony. I reached out to him if I could do this shout out. He said of course right away. So if you want to get a shout out like this here on YouTube, reach out to me at movies_with_James here on YouTube or Instagram. Let's get in touch. Shoot me that DM. As always though, it's the end of the video guys, so get some good snacks, put a good movie on, and have a good night.